UCLA finally made a dent, and I have been biting at the bit to get behind a microphone since late Tuesday night because I can say without hesitation that UCLA's 69-67 win over Purdue on Tuesday night at Pauley Pavilion was the best college basketball game that I have seen this season. And great college basketball games have to feature all sorts of different things. There needs to be ties, there needs to be lead changes, there needs to be great pageantry, which you don't always get at Pauley Pavilion, but you saw Tuesday night at Pauley Pavilion. And you also had a performance by Donovan Dent that showed you why UCLA at the end of last season made Donovan Dent its number one priority when he went into the transfer portal out of New Mexico. And it reminded me of what Donovan Dent did a year ago when he was the Mountain West Player of the Year, when he was the epicenter of a team out of the Mountain West that went to the NCAA tournament and won a game in the round of 64 against Marquette. Donovan Dent last year at New Mexico had a 40-point game at VCU. And Donovan Dent went toe-to-toe with the best point guard in college basketball on Tuesday night, Purdue's Braden Smith, and didn't just hold his own. Donovan Dent outplayed Braden Smith. Donovan Dent went for 23, 13 assists, 3 turnovers, and multiple blocks. Donovan Dent showed why he is capable of being what he was last season at New Mexico, and that is the most electrifying player in college basketball today. And sometimes it takes a game like this to get somebody going. Donovan Dent, up until that game against Purdue, had moments of promise for UCLA. He had moments of being a major factor. You saw it a little bit when UCLA lost at Iowa on January 3rd in the second half of that game. But we had not seen yet this season Donovan Dent do what he did against Purdue. And it got me thinking about UCLA, who I had coming into the season as a top 10 team. I think they were ranked number 12 in the AP top 25 prior to the year. UCLA had been a bit of a disappointment. But Gino Auriemma told me a long time ago in an interview I was doing with him, there are no great coaches without great players. So if you're UCLA and you're coming into the season and you're looking at the backcourt that you've put together, if you're Mick Cronin, and you think you're having an All-American in Donovan Dent and a really good veteran in Sky Clark, you think obviously you're going to have one of the best backcourts in college basketball. Sky Clark has been out since January 3rd, but prior to that, he has lived up to the billing. He has been a great perimeter defender. He is shooting over 48% from three. UCLA needs that guy back. But the story is this. If Donovan Dent can be 60 to 75% of what he was against Purdue on Tuesday night, UCLA has the requisites to be a real team nationally. But part of the problem is this. Watching the game, the back, the forth, everything that happened in that game, I said to myself, there are 2 times that I have seen UCLA play with this type of energy. There are 2 times that I've seen this season UCLA play with that type of reckless abandon. One was the other night against Purdue, and the other was against Arizona in mid-November at Intuit Dome, where if you remember, UCLA had an 8-point lead over Arizona, the number 1 team in the country, with 7 minutes to play and lost the game. And a big reason was because UCLA was soft as butter defensively. And I was in studio last Saturday on CBS when UCLA gave up 86 points to Ohio State and Columbus. And I said it without hesitation that this is unequivocally the worst defensive team of Mick Cronin's career. But I don't know what happened from the end of the Ohio State game to the start of the Purdue game. But UCLA, and there's major limitations still for the Bruins up front. Xavier Booker has holes in his game. We know that. But Xavier Booker was better against Purdue, 9 points, 4 rebounds, than he was really in any game the last month. UCLA, when it's engaged and when it can play with the type of energy it played with against Purdue, can be a factor in the Big Ten and a factor nationally. Because UCLA, again, without Sky Clark, has a win now over Purdue that when I was doing my bracket projection this morning that I will post tomorrow morning on X every single Friday at 9 a.m., it got the Bruins comfortably into the bracket. That's what a win like that does over a team like Purdue. It is something that will be a major chip that UCLA can take all the way to Selection Sunday. But the Purdue win for UCLA is not truly going to bear fruit if UCLA does not take care of business over its next couple of games. And look, Mick Cronin went off after the game in the press conference about UCLA's travel to start Big Ten play. Games at Iowa and Wisconsin, a home game against Maryland, games at Penn State and Ohio State, and then back to play Purdue across the country. UCLA has a stretch now, and the Bruins are 13-6 overall, where it will play its next 5 games in the Pacific time zone. 4 of them are at Pauley Pavilion. Northwestern, who beat USC last night at the Galen Center, will be next to visit UCLA on Saturday. Then UCLA next week will go to Oregon, who again is playing without Jackson Shellstad and Nate Biddle. Then UCLA comes home for 3 straight home games: Indiana, Rutgers, and Washington. As Tim Robbins said, as Andy Dufresne in The Shawshank Redemption circa 1994, get busy living or get busy dying.